Passage number 23. Be ready. Comments. Sir, I am really glad to find that many of the members who have participated in the discussion on the appropriation bill have made very useful and constructive suggestions. So, I take this opportunity to offer my sincere thanks to all of them. No doubt, some of them have made a few carping criticisms and have made certain observations with which the government cannot possibly agree. Nevertheless, the government always treat the views expressed on the floor of the house with great care and attention and will have all of them fully examined. Now, let me proceed to some of the specific issues raised here with reference to the point made by one of the members that this government has not received from the Government of India as much financial assistance as some other states. I have to tell the honorable member straight away and through him this house and his surmise in this regard is not absolutely correct. We are getting from the government of India whatever financial assistance we needed. There is no question of the government of India giving more financial assistance to other states than this state. Whenever we approach the central government for financial assistance to meet the various items of expenditure connected with the development of the state, they have always been good enough to provide the needed assistance. There has been absolutely no difficulty in this matter, and the members may rest assured that none of the development schemes of this state has ever suffered for want of financial assistance from the government of India. I got the impression from the discussion here that many members are anxious about the food situation in the state. We are certainly quite alive to the critical situation created by our food deficit, and we are trying to press on the government of India to give us increased allotments of rice. As a matter of fact, they have readily agreed to increase our quota of rice absolutely. We are also contemplating other steps to get more quantities from other sources. Therefore, we do not expect any difficulty whatsoever. We will take care to see that the people are not put to any undue hardship. With the limited resources available to us, we have been able to do what best we can to alleviate the suffering of the people of this state. So, I would very much like the judgment of the members of the opposition to be founded on this unshakable fact. The honorable leader of the opposition remarked that this government are always trying to oust the jurisdiction of the courts. I am glad that he has raised this rather ticklish question. I would very much like to say a few words to clear the possible misunderstanding that may prevail in certain quarters so far as this matter is concerned. The legislature has its own functions to perform. The will of the people and the aspirations of the people must be reflected in the legislature. The legislature, being a sovereign body, is eminently competent to say what is good for the people. It is certainly the prerogative of the legislature to decide what is good for the people. When the legislature, after due deliberation, passes an enactment, if it is ultra vires of the constitution or the fundamental laws of the land, then it is for the courts to point out that it offends certain provisions of the constitution or the relevant act. But ordinarily, the will of the people must be taken as being reflected in the legislature. All these three wings of government, namely the courts, legislature, and the executive, are there to serve the people, to champion the cause of the people, and to see that the welfare of the people is maintained. The welfare and security of the people of the land must be prime consideration of any government or court or legislature. If any wing assumes greater jurisdiction in this link, it must be checked by suitable remedial measures undertaken to see that each wing functions in its own sphere without encouraging upon the jurisdiction of the other. The government have no doubt enormous power of taxation and of arresting and prosecuting people. They must necessarily have checks on them, and the courts are exercising that check on the government. Therefore, it is in the interests of everybody that the dignity of the courts, the legislature, and the executive should be evenly maintained. Otherwise, ultimately there will be friction among these three limbs, and the government and the welfare of the people will be jeopardized. Reference was made to rural electrification. I am glad to hear the member who raised this subject say that he was speaking for the people. I really want that some members should specialize in certain select subjects and bring matters relating those subjects to the notice of the government. If they do this, they are sure to attract the attention of the House and the government, as they can talk in an authoritative about the subject. Stop.